In life, we often find ourselves blaming circumstances. We say we're not lucky enough, not privileged enough, or that the timing is simply not in our favor. If you're facing challenges right now and feel like the world is working against you, then this story is meant for you. It might not change your situation instantly, but it can change the way you see yourself and your life. Because the truth is this: circumstances are just an excuse. Only when you are truly determined can you change your destiny. If this message spoke to you, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more stories that inspire and uplift. Your support helps us share more wisdom and positivity with the world. Long ago, in a small village by the sacred Ganges River, there lived an old painter named Samir. In his youth, he had been the pride of the whole region, for his paintings were not only rich in colors, but also carried the soul of the countryside, bringing trishki and reverence to everyone. Splendid palaces and holy temples once displayed his works with honor. But time spares no one. As the years piled on, Samir's eyes grew weak, and eventually he was struck by color blindness. He could no longer distinguish the crimson of lotus blossoms, the golden warmth of the morning sun, or the refreshing green of the rice fields. For a painter, this was the greatest misfortune. The villagers felt both pity and scorn. They whispered, "He's finished." A painter who cannot see colors is like a musician who cannot hear. Yet Samir never cursed his fate. Each day he quietly sat by the porch of his small home, his frail hands gripping an old paintbrush. To him, a painting's beauty did not lie in dazzling hues, but in the emotions woven into each stroke. He believed that if the heart still burned with passion, even darkness could not extinguish the light of art. Though colorblind, Samir refused to give up. He often told himself, "Circumstances may bind my eyes, but they cannot bind my heart." Every morning he sat on the porch, gazing toward the Ganges shimmering under the sunlight. He listened to the wind rustling through the trees, the sparrows chirping, the laughter of children at play. All these sounds became images in his mind. Instead of relying on colors, he painted with rhythm, with pure feeling. When he heard the flute, he drew gentle curves. When he sensed the beat of festival drums, his brush swept bold strokes. When he saw the radiant smile of a farmer, he captured it with sincerity and hope. The villagers mocked him. "What's worth seeing in the work of a man who cannot see colors?" But Samir calmly replied, "It's not that I lack colors. It only means I must work twice as hard as others." Day by day, his little house filled with paintings. They were not dazzling with bright palettes, but they carried a strange allure, soothing the hearts of those who looked at them. Some merchants from afar, passing through the village, brought his paintings elsewhere, and slowly the reputation of the colorless painter began to spread, silencing the jeers that once followed him. One year, the king announced the greatest painting contest in the kingdom. The theme was "The Essence of the Nation." The winner's work would be honored in the royal palace, displayed in the grand hall of Vishnu's temple. The news spread far and wide. Master painters from every region gathered. When the villagers saw Samir preparing to take part, they burst into laughter. "He's colorblind, yet he dares to paint for the king? Ridiculous." On the day of the contest, the royal hall was resplendent. Hundreds of white canvases lay ready. Painters dipped into their most brilliant colors to show off their skill. Samir sat quietly in a corner, with nothing but his old brush and a simple box of paints. When he began to work, the crowd whispered, "He won't amount to anything." But stroke by stroke, Samir's vision unfolded. He did not care for colors, only for the emotions alive within him. Farmers tilling the fields, children's innocent faces, lively festival dances, incense smoke rising to the heavens. His lines were not vivid, yet they carried soul, as if they held the very spirit of the people. When he finished, silence filled the hall. The other paintings glittered with color, but none stirred hearts the way Samir's did. The king descended, gazed at the canvas for a long time, and finally said slowly, "This is not merely a painting. This is the very breath of our land." From that day, no one in the village mocked Samir again. They called him with reverence, the painter without colors, yet full of light. Once, when asked how he could create a masterpiece without the gift of seeing colors, Samir smiled and said, "Do not blame circumstances. I may be colorblind, but I can still paint. If a person fails, it is not because of fate, but because they have not truly tried." That saying spread far and wide, becoming a reminder for generations. Circumstances are only excuses. Only with a steadfast heart can dreams become reality.